Part of what we teach people in our Date with Destiny program is to create a code of conduct. What that is a set of goals for how you're going to be every day, the kinds of emotional states you're going to be in. You're going to be friendly, you're going to be outgoing, you're going to be loving, you're going to be impeccable, you're going to be powerful, you're going to be strong, you're going to be confident. So you don't just have goals of achieving a bunch of money or being best in your company. You have goals of how you're going to feel and how you're going to live. Because, by the way, if you're being friendly and outgoing and passionate and disciplined and powerful and effective and you're contributing to people, if you're living in those kinds of states every single day, you're going to achieve all that you want. Does that make sense? So you might want to develop for yourself a set of goals of how you're going to be every day. You got to develop why you're doing all these things in your life. What is the purpose of your life? What are you going for? What's going to drive you to really go for it when things get tough, when things get frustrating, when it rains on your parade, when you do everything right and it still turns out wrong? What's going to make you still manage your state? What's going to make you manage your state when it's unfair? See, you got to come up with those answers in advance. Otherwise, you'll miss out on life mastery. Here's lesson 3. Lesson 3 is you must anticipate the challenges of life and role model how to deal with them. What do I mean by that? I mean, there are certain lessons in life that you and I, everyone we meet, or most people at least, are going to have to deal with. I mean, we're all going to have to deal with death. Not only our own, but people around us in our life who we care about are going to die. Doesn't sound like a very pleasant emotion or a pleasant experience to think about, but wouldn't now be a good time to think about how are you going to look at death? What are going to be your beliefs about death so that experience doesn't destroy you, but allows you to have more richness in your life, that allows you to have deeper caring? Maybe the pain digs a deeper hole for you to fill up more emotion with, to share with other people. I don't know. But you got to decide how you're going to deal with somebody approaching you and wanting to be with you sexually when you're married. If you don't deal with that now up front and decide, hey, this is how I'm going to deal with it because it'll eventually happen, then you may one day get into state and just do something you're going to regret for a long, long time. So it destroys a lot of relationships, isn't it? See, you're going to have to deal with turning 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. You're going to deal with that. For some reason, those zero numbers really seem to affect people in their lives. But why not think about it in advance? Why not say, hey, here's what I want to do. So here's how I'm going to look at turning 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 or whatever it is. Here's what I need to do so I feel good about myself at that area. Set some goals for yourself. Here's what I want to accomplish. And make sure they're realistic and make sure they're reasonable. But you got to deal with that. And the best way, again, is to talk to other people that have already dealt with it. Find out what challenges they've dealt with. If you're in business, you've got to deal with the fact that someday there's a good chance someone is going to try and take something from you illegally. Someone may try and embezzle, they may try and steal. If you've got a big enough company, there are going to be individuals who live by those values. That's not being negative. Be smart. Anticipate. Don't expect the worst. Expect the best. But have a plan in case the worst shows up. You know, I tell a lot of people, listen, believe, have faith. But there's an old phrase that says, trust in God and tie up your camels. Right? Be an intelligent person. And so that means look at your life and as many things as you can anticipate, and no matter what your goals are, there are going to be challenges that come up. Otherwise, you already have your goals. So anticipate what they are and deal with them in advance so you got a plan. Now, even after you try and anticipate everything, there'll still be challenges, but at least you're better prepared. Does that make sense? That's part of life mastery. Step 4, reevaluate your life on an ongoing basis. What do I mean by that? No, I don't mean every day to ask yourself, God, am I doing the right thing? Oh my God, is this the right thing to do? Should I do this? Oh, is that the right thing? Those people drive themselves crazy. I mean about every 6 months, at the minimum, to a year, you need to go off someplace and just take a look at your goals. Take a look at some of your beliefs, some of your values, and ask yourself the question, hey, where am I going? Where are my present goals and values and beliefs? Where are they leading me right now in my life? Am I going the direction I want to go? What's the ultimate destination if I continue down this path? See, if you do that, you're going to end up where you want to be in your life. Because one thing's for sure, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you will surely arrive. The question is, where? Where will you be? What will you be like? Who will you surround yourself with? If you don't look at the daily actions you're taking and see those actions as being a cause set in motion, if you don't review the effects it's having on your life, the direction it's taking you in the ultimate destination, one day you may end up someplace you don't want to be. Hey, remember the Niagara Syndrome? Most people in life get caught up in the river of life. And at first it's a little slow, but then the current starts to pick up pace. And they get caught up in making a living, trying to make their life work. And pretty soon, they've lost sight of what their goals are. They've lost sight of where they're going. They're just being dragged along by the current itself. And one day they wake up 5 feet from Niagara Falls in a boat with no oars, and they go, oh, shoot. You don't want to be that person. So one way to make sure is never to get stuck. Maybe 10 years ago you said, this is who I'm going to be. This is what I'm going to do for a living. This is who I am. Maybe it's time to reevaluate and just make sure you're still that person. It doesn't mean you have to change. It just means be willing to take the look. That's my challenge to you. My challenge to you is life mastery. Manage your emotions. Compel yourself to do it on a daily basis by having reasons that will drive you. Come up with a life purpose that makes you become the kind of person you're proud of. Anticipate the challenges and model what will work, and make sure you reevaluate. Hey, look, by now, hopefully you realize that no matter what it is you get in your life, you're not going to be made happy by that. The only thing that's going to make you happy in your life is who you become. The challenge, of course, is that most of us in life have a problem. And that problem is we get comfortable. I'm not saying always live on the edge. I'm saying have a little balance in your life. Because sometimes you get so comfortable, you kind of get in such a groove that the groove becomes a grave. You got to be real careful. You don't want to get stuck. So beware of the disease called success. You say, disease? I thought that's what I got this program for. Well, what I really mean by that is if you get too comfortable with success, then it becomes a trap. Because then again, what people do is they get superstitious. They go, oh, this seems to be working. I better just keep doing this for the rest of my life. How horrible. You want more in your life than that. And you don't want to get caught up in that thing called a comfort zone. It happens to all of us. You know why? Because we only do so much for ourselves. For example, how hard will you work for acknowledgement? Well, people work real hard for acknowledgement, but I think there's a point of saturation where it's like that's not going to motivate you anymore because you feel like, yeah, I've been acknowledged. I'm totally acknowledged. Any more acknowledgement, I'd be going to wonder what the heck this is about. Right? So that's not enough. There's only so much acknowledgement will do it. So some people work for money. They say, well, I'm going to really grow because I want to be successful so I can make some money. But you know what? For most people, there's a certain amount of money and then they get comfortable. And it's different for everybody. Some people, it's $25,000 a year, some 50, some 100, some a million, some 10 million. Some are never satisfied, I'll guarantee you that. But for most people, there's a point where they go, what else do you need? You know, with a six-pack and a TV set, I mean, what else is there? Right? Other people have a little higher standards. They say, well, gosh, you know, with 4 homes and be able to travel around the world and be with my family, what else is there? So money has its limits, too. I mean, we could go down the list. People only work so hard for themselves, but let me tell you the secret to lifelong wealth and happiness, and that is this. Become a team player. You say, well, how's this relate? Well, you and I will do more for the people that we care about than we'll ever do for ourselves. I mean, think about that. Isn't it true? I know I'll do a heck of a lot more for my kids than I would ever do for myself. Is that true in your life? See, if you can find a team of people who you really deeply care for, and you can get the feeling that you're responsible, that you can make a difference in their lives, that you can contribute, that you're absolutely a source of power and possibility for those people, you can't believe what that'll motivate you to do. Hey, I'm talking to you right now because years ago I linked up in my head that if I learned things that could really make a difference and share them with people, that, hey, that would give me an incredible sense of contribution, and that those people would like me, that they'd love me, that we have an incredible relationship. That has driven my life. And I got to tell you something, it's more of a high for me than any amount of money, although I certainly like to make money, or any amount of growth, or any amount of development, virtually any other area. Contribution can drive you crazy, and the neat thing about it is it's addictive. When you really feel like you're doing a lot for people, for me at least, it makes me feel like I want to give even more. It's like a success cycle. It grabs you, and you want to do more and more and more. And the neat thing is, in order to contribute to other people, you have to become more. You have to grow personally, or you have nothing to give. See, that's the challenge in life. See, if you can get yourself in a position where you surround yourself with people that cause you to demand more from yourself than anybody else could ever expect, now you have true wealth. Because I got to tell you something, if you overeat or overdrink or oversmoke or are stuck in front of a TV at times or do drugs, there's only one reason: you don't feel the joy of growing. And the reason for that is you're comfortable, or you haven't found something bigger than yourself to contribute to commit your life to. I really challenge you to take a look around at your family, at your friends, at your business, and ask yourself the question, how is my life impacting these people? What actions could I take that could make a major difference for my teammates? If I were to commit myself 100% to making that difference, how would I feel about myself? Who would I become as a person? See, that's the key. If you can really become a team player, somebody who makes people feel loved and appreciated and contributed to, somebody who by their presence people's lives are enhanced, then you have the greatest gift of all. And that is a sense that when you leave this world, that somehow in some simple way, in your own humble way, you left the world just a little bit better. And I mean, isn't that what life was about? So I guess my challenge to you is to walk your talk. To make sure that every day you care deeply, that you create something new where there wasn't anything before, that you cooperate with people and help them to make a difference, that you commit to being the best, and that you contribute. God, if you can do those things, you cannot believe your greatest dreams of your past will become like mere